Okay, so my name is Kathleen. Everyone calls me KJ, and I'm just making this video because I have a lot of issues with the way our generation is turning out. For example, our generation tends to make excuses for their actions, such as violence. This whole thing where, guns kill people. No, sweetheart, I'm sorry to tell you, but that particular weapon that you picked up to shoot somebody with didn't have a mind of its own. This whole depression thing and cutting that people tend to go through, it doesn't make any sense to me. I'll admit that there is an actual scientific explanation for depression, and that there are some people out there who have it. I understand that. Not everyone has it though, and that's what upsets me. Many people who don't have actual legit depression are using it as an excuse to get attention. And the same thing with cutting. It irritates me because the people who actually have depression and who do actually cut, they're not taken seriously. All these people cry wolf, and the ones who aren't are just considered, oh, they're just doing it for attention, when they actually need help. I'll admit, I have my moments where I relapse and go back to my old ways. I'm not afraid to say it. Yes, I deal with depression. I legit have depression. And I'll admit that yes, I have the mistake and I have cut before. This is not anything new. And I'll admit that, I struggle with it constantly. It's like an addiction. It's not healthy. I don't make excuses for my actions though. I accept that what I have done is not okay and that I need to do and can do better. And that's exactly what I've done. I've done better for myself. I struggle with it, but what I do is force myself to stop thinking like that, because you get into a pattern of thought that locks you into depression. Now, some people might say, oh, I'm depressed. I'm thinking like this. I can't stop thinking like this. I can't do anything to stop myself from thinking like this. That's a lie, and it's an excuse. I struggle with depression. I force myself to think better thoughts. I force myself to think about the good in my life, because that's another problem with our generation and previous generations and generations to come. The bad sticks out more than the good. Be grateful that you woke up this morning, that you're breathing, that you have people in your life who care for you. And it took me a long time to understand that. It took me a long time to be grateful for the people that I have, the things I have going for me, the good things in my life. I used to sit there and think about the mistakes I've made, my past, the people I've screwed over. Thoughts like that don't get you anywhere. They get you into this deep hole that you struggle to get out of for years. It's a destructive pattern. You start with the thoughts and you dig this hole and you start to cut and you start getting depressed, and it's a vicious circle that happens every fucking day. Thoughts, hole, depression, cutting, and it keeps going and keeps going. What we need to understand, what you need to understand, is that no matter how bad your life gets, there's always someone out there that's worse. That no matter how bad your life gets, it gets better. That no matter how bad it may seem, how deep in that dark hole that you are, there is always someone out there who will help you, who will be that person for you to help you. I used to say I don't have anybody, that, no one gives two craps about me. And for a long time I felt that way, until I got into the situation that I'm in now. And I understand that it's not true. People just eventually reach the point where they get tired of dealing with other people's bullshit, and they take a step back and let them deal with their own things. Understandable. And I get that. It makes sense. What I'm here to tell you, what I'm here to tell my generation, what I'm here to tell you is that it gets better. Life does not stay this crappy way forever. I promise you. I went from being homeless to having a job where I make almost a good $700 a week plus commission. It gets better. And I promise you're not alone. The moment that you start thinking you're alone is when you start going downhill. It gets better.